And I'm back. And I'm actually done here. But I'm not near enough to the entrance to just run out. There's another bit of ore here somewhere. I'm not seeing it, so it might be up top. Or maybe I'm just too far away. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I would love if that'll be nice. I would love if we got Burn Crusade SOD, you know? I would love if, you know, we got further expansions in this. Because I'm enjoying Goric, and this is the only way the character is ever going to get played. I already have a Paladin, so, and I'm not sure if I very much need, I need and desire to go through, you know, seasonal servers outside of something unique, you know? So, yeah. Like, I'm not sure if I would have any interest in just playing a, you know, the Kata server. No interest in it. But SOD is at least somewhat unique. I get to try Classic with some tweak ups and changes, you know? So, but if they were did Burning Crusade Plus, I would be interested in trying that. If they did Kata Plus, I'd be interested in trying that. It'll be nice. I do need to sort out my PC spacing issue though, you know? I was having a look at Handbrake, but it doesn't seem to care for multiple audio tracks. Hey, you're a scalper. Stand and fight. So, you think you're hot shit? Stand and fight. They just drop Wildvine. It's a shame the Wild Hammers aren't. Hello, folks. Welcome to a bit of post-commentary for Season Discovery. Let us start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, I just got booted from the group. Let's try and explain this. Basically, while this can be done at sub 50, people won't take you if you're not 50. You have to be level 50 to do it, socially. No one ever tells me that until I ask in the guild afterwards. They just either ignore my requests, or, as you saw, disinvite me. So, the whole thing kind of ended up sticking in my craw, because it was just like, for fuck's sake, it's, you know, it's not like I can do this. So, see, this can be entered below 50. This, you know, I checked, this can be done then. But it seems socially it can't, you know, they won't let you in, you can't do it. Um, so, yeah, kind of stuck in my crawl for the rest of the set because it was just spitting feathers, you know. So, well, I'm probably not as bad as I think I was. I decided I'll just record it rather than listen to more of myself talking. I've done a lot of editing so far today, from session 51 something to, well, I'm currently on 57. And that may not sound like much, but you have to remember, so many of my sets are broken up into sub-sessions. So one session could be 27 sub-sessions. I have one there the other day is actually 27 sub-sessions. Though I don't think it's for this. I think it's for, I was recording Quasimorph recently, as of time of post recording, and yeah, and one of my sessions ended up hitting like 27. So the whole from A to Z, and then the initial one. So it's like session 2, 2A, 2B, 2C, down to C. So I've none really to speak about here. I suppose I'll talk a bit shop. So I've fallen behind on editing these quite grandly. This is session 57B. So open file location. This will probably take a second. Oh, I have it here already. This was recorded on the 8th of July, 2024. This is not going to be released in 2024. Despite the fact it has a very good opportunity to do so, it's not going to get released this year. Not unless I double, triple up on episodes. But no, I don't think that's going to do me justice. It is what it is. I'm actually feeling a bit lightheaded. Ugh. But yeah, I've fallen far behind. It's currently the first day of December. I've fallen far behind in editing. For a bit there, I had no videos coming out at all for a time. I got back into editing enough to fix the issue. I got back into editing enough to, at the time, do all my standalone vids. Then, while I tried to keep that up, I kept stopping and starting in the standalone vids thereafter, and excuse me, well, I've fallen behind again because let me find it here. Black Grimoire, Cursebreaker, Session 7, A to W, Session 6, A to M. So, all the sessions are fucking long, with subsessions. Just starting from the early access footage down to the end of session 3 is 69 subsessions. Session 4 and 5 is 11. 5 is a sound grind. Session 6 is 14. Session 7 is down to W is 24. Session 8 is 11. So I fell entirely behind on editing because there's so many there, it's kind of daunting and tedious, so I just kind of keep putting it off. I've been finding editing to be a complete pain as well. Just not something I like doing. So yeah. One issue I'm potentially going to run into here is the editor falling out of sync. with the footage. The editor's falling out of sync with the footage. That happens, and I'm a fair bit in. I'm not re-recording. You're just gonna have to deal with it. Reason I'm taking such as tact is because it's an hour 13. I have 73 minutes to talk through of this, and I don't care for it. It needs to be done, but yeah, I'm just really not a fan of it. So if it botches up like that, I'm just not doing it. But yeah, I'm doing this post commentary, like I said. Like, I personally didn't see a problem. Like, but socially, people don't let you in if you're below 50. So even though it can be done below 50, they, I guess for efficiency or something, they want you in. And that one person disinvited me, then others snubbed me. So basically just ended up stuck in my crawl for the set. It's probably not as bad as I thought. I'm thinking now. It's not like I went and listened to it. I'm kind of sick and tired of hearing myself because I've sat through 30, 40 sub-sessions at this point. So that's 30 minutes, 40 minutes of me listening to myself, minimum. Every sub-session's listened to for a minute. Some may be listened to multiple times, but those were very few, and some I listened to for longer than that, to try and find a thing. So that one sub-session may have gotten 4 or 5 minutes. So I'm kind of sick and tired of listening to myself. And listening to myself for an hour 13 does not sound fun. So I decided it's best to just re-record it. So, what else to talk about? But yeah, I've fallen way behind on my editing. Way behind. I just haven't been finding it... I've been finding it painful to do for the last age. Just painful. It's me. I haven't uploaded any shooter footage since the start of 2024. Haven't uploaded any RTS since a bit after that. I finished Bannerlord and that was the end of it. And even then I didn't do post-commentary for the finale when I ended up having my mic muted for most of it. So, honestly, it looked like I threw a knife there when I murked that troll. It was when I was mining a bit of iron there in Hinterlands in case it's desynced now. I think I just hit him with an exorcism, but it almost looks like a flashing knife or something. But I lost my train of thought. Hinterlands. Oh yeah, I finished Bannerlord and that was the end of it. I haven't edited any more RTS since. I've been trying to get into it, but I really have to make myself, and it's just really not fun. And so I really have to force myself, and it's just not enjoyable. Coming to the end of session 57B. On to 57C, which is a bit longer. Ooh, I have some quest reading to do. It'll be awkward on this screen. Bit better now. Fragar Thundermantle. Huh, what name? I'm getting distracted by kill chat.
Hey, good.
Well, look at you, helping out the Wildhammers. You're proud of action, and action's what we respect around here. Little cleanup mission's a lot more important than you might think it is. With folks thinning out the oozes and sludges, we have to extend our sphere of influence in no time. Here, have a little something in addition to just making new friends here in Airy Peak.
Watch, get her back.
1 5 of those tribal necklaces the trolls carry on them. If you need it spout out further, then killing one of them stands you a good chance of getting one. You prove your worth to the Wildhammers.
Off with you.
Now that's what I'm talking about, see? These necklaces prove that you're willing to get your hands dirty. We Wildhammers value that in those we associate with. Keep this up and you'll be in our good graces yet. There's no real benefit to gaining Wildhammer rep. As far as I know, they don't have rep vendor. They don't have a rep vendor. And they... Well, I just logged out. They don't have a rep vendor. They don't have... they don't have a rep vendor. They don't have... like an exalted quest. They don't have very much of a faction. They're very threadbare. And in Legion, Kata, they just fold in with the Alliance fully. Nice little graveyard. The iconography in the trees. They just fold in with the Alliance. They're no longer a separate faction. I saw people being really hopeful on Wowhead that like, oh, we'll get rewarded for hitting Exalted with them. There's bound to be quest rewards at a faction at some time, at some point. There's bound to be one. But there never ended up being one. It's kind of sad seeing it, really. The hopefulness to them and nothing. God, this is... Let me grab my phone. Oh, okay, I'm stopping the post commentary here. Meaning I'm stopping this segment of it entirely. But yeah, this is the end of phase 3. I think we're looking at phase 5 or 6 right now as a post commentary. Like, they're doing AQ. I'm actually not sure, is AQ out yet? Or is it... I swear I remember a request for there. I'm not sure if AQ is out yet, or if it's... No, I think AQ is out, but we're still doing the hammer quest to open the place. It's just they decided to have both things going simultaneously, rather than us truly unlocking it. I'd love to do the hammer quest, but it's more of a cunt than I thought. Okay, you're doing a raid of 40 people. Only one can progress the quest. So if your whole raid group, 40-man raid, wants to continue it, you have to run the dungeon run Molten Core 40 times. And then when you run that, the next stage of the quest requires you to run this other thing multiple times, with only one person each time being able to get a thing. And if you want to get the title, you have to be the very first person on server to ring the gong. And if you want to get the mount, so you can ride the mount outside the raid, you have to do it within 10 hours of that person ringing the gong. So it's very much the restricted as to who can get it. It's very much is a feat of strength and probably a feat of favoritism for your guild. That out of the whole guild, you were the person or the first few people of the guild to be chosen, depending on how long the thing takes. The guild may only be able to put one person forward. Also, that is creepy. How like the lump in the stump is like breeding. It looks like a breeding motion. But I'm gonna stop here, get a drink, get some food, get this terrible taste out of my mouth. I have a very sensitive mouth, so like scents in the air, like scorch it. It's obnoxious. Hello, young master. I'm Ava Sarkov, and this is my husband Lucy. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Pleasure mine, madam. Might I ask what it is you're doing here? Okay. Stopping here. So I'll talk to you again in a bit, folks. Talk to you again in a bit. Hope you don't mind this post commentary so far, but it's what you're getting, so well, you better enjoy it. Till then, I do hope you join me for more. I'll be doing the readings and whatnot that I would have done in the past. I'll do them afresh now. Hopefully the audio bounces better. I was having some issues with the audio back then, but hopefully the mic's doing better now. Hello, folks, and I have returned. Let us continue our post-commentary. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Certainly, sir. We're once servants of the House Barov, what is now known as the Showmans. I was the head maid, and Lucien was Master Barov's... it's gone. Oh, it's just so horrible, sir. The House Barov was once full of life, full of splendor. The manor was Barov's primary residence amidst their far-reaching empire. Lucien and I noticed that as the days progressed, the Barovs became depressed, despondent, paranoid, and rage often overcame the master and missus. At night, we could hear the Barovs arguing in their chambers. From what we understood, the greed had broken the dam, so to speak. What do you mean? We suspect that in order to preserve their fortune and the whole of the land while past their lifespan, the Barovs made a deal with a powerful human mage named Kalfazad. Ava shuddered. From this deal sprang the School of Necromancy, a place which bore the cult of the damned and would become their capital. As each week passed, the House Barov became more and more decrepit. Dark things began to take residence in various... And go where? It was all that we knew, all that we'd ever known, and all that we would ever know. Eventually we lost contact with the Barovs and ultimately were separated from the household. We knew not what happened to the other servants, only that there were screams, tortured screams. Knowing we had nowhere to go, Lucy and I were forced to hide in our quarters during the day. We did this for about 6 months, and watched as the house went through horrifying changes. Foul monsters roamed through the manor at will, dark cultists populated every inch with various powerful paraphernalia relating to rituals and sacrifices. We knew that we could not hide much longer. As expected, we were found and captured. They stripped of us our clothes and laid us out inside a circle. So that's there for days, naked and terrified. No restraints, just in a circle. Restraints? There are things in these world far more restraining than bars and shackles, young master. The undead surrounded us, constantly tormenting us with horrifying acts of depravity. Finally he came. He introduced himself as Dr. Teowen Krasnov. Came to know him as the Butcher. Tell me more. Jesus. We finally found what the screams were from. Butcher exposed us to the pain we did not know existed. He used us in countless experiments attempting to devise a plague. The days turned to weeks. We would have died on the first day had it not been for that cruel bastard keeping us alive through magical means. This is an atrocity. Butcher would speak of the blood of innocents and his dark master. Kertenos, of how he must appease his master. Finally, the beast was done with his experiments. We'd been drained of all life, our spirits shattered. Sweet embrace of death was upon us. We welcomed the open arms, but its infinite cruelty, the butcher revived us from death's door. We were to be kept alive and thrown to its ravenous schools. He laughed as he watched the fiends devour our flesh. I feel sick. We feel nothing. Our souls remain here in limbo. We are unable to leave until our remains are found and their spirits laid to rest. How can I help? Finally, it's easier to keep pace. And nothing. If I was the right level, it would have given me something. But I wasn't the right level, so it wouldn't. But went there now, it would. As of time of recording this post-commentary, but as of time of recording this episode, no. But God. I chose the worst second to start choking on spit. As for a terrible taste in my mouth, it went, then it's back. Tongue actually felt numb with it. But I think it's actually easing now. So, it's something. So, how much is left? 50 minutes? No. Can I be honest with you? Mental maths is failing me right now. So, my cadence is off, so it's just like, my mind is completely scattered. Yeah, no, 50 minutes. Huh. So yeah, 50 minutes is left for this post-commentary. To be fair, most of this probably didn't even need to be replaced. I just remember feeling... I was spitting feathers, and so I felt a bit off. And just thinking on it, it was just like, yeah, fuck it, I'll re-record it. It's probably not bad enough to need re-recording, but I was just... Like I said, I've listened to at least an hour of myself today, maybe more, of post-commentary. Or a best part of an hour, maybe over. But I excuse me. Yeah, I listened to the best part of an hour, maybe over an hour, of myself. I'm not interested in listening to an hour 13 of myself. So, I'm content in moving on. But not content in moving on. I'm content in re-recording it. Let me start that the fuck again. I've listened to at least an hour of myself talking. About an hour's talking, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. I don't want to have to listen to an hour 13 for a single session. You know? For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 subsets. I don't want to listen to all that. Well met, friend. I am Officer Pureheart, and I am a proud member of a worldwide organization known as the Argent Dawn. Our cause is simple. Fight swiftly and mercilessly against any evil element that surfaces in Azeroth. We are not a political body, nor do we wish to become one. To that end, we call both the Alliance and Horde both as friends. Friends in the cause of stamping out evil. For the Dawn, my brother.
Farewell.
Oh, there's a fight path there.
What can I do for you?
Long ago, before the last Great War, my father ran the North Ridge lumber mill. It was his life, and he was committed to it. Then the war came, and as much as it pained him, we had to flee to Stormwind. Whilst a number of friends and family in those days, it pains me to know that Scarlet Crusade has taken the mill for their own ends. That's why I returned.
For the Alliance.
I've tried many times to rout out the Scarlet Crusade through force alone, but to no avail. As an alternative, I've decided to make their lives more difficult. If we're willing to help, I want to infest that lumber mill with the most terrible species of termites ever found. In the Plague Wood, near the once great Stratholme, there's a breed that survives the plague and the scourge combined. find their mound and fill this jar with them, so we can prepare them to be unleashed in the crusade.
Go with honor, friend.
Pleased to meet you. Off and away.
I'm heading down to Menito. I think, going by the rest of the session, I'm heading to Tanaris. Oh. Okay, that needed editing. I made a mistake there. All these sessions have stops and starts. All these subsets have end points. And I was thinking all the issues were just simply commentary. But that one there was not a commentary issue. I had my guild screen on, and the guild shows off its Discord link in the motto of the day. So if anyone was to see the motto, they would have the Discord link to the guild, and it feels inappropriate to have that in a video. So yeah, I'm gonna cut that out. I could do it now, but I'll wait till I'm done to do so, in case it throws anything off. I'm not gonna say this probably didn't need to be cut or bisected around like this. Sitting in the desk. I don't think I chatted with this guy or said hi or anything. I should have, but I'm terribly socially awkward. I may have been doing videos here for 10 years. Does not stop me being incredibly socially awkward. But I do love these boats, how populated they are with little knickknacks and stuff. It feels like a place, you know? It's not as detailed as it probably should be, but I do like the little flavor of it. I just wish there was a reason to it, a purpose to it. Like, imagine a guild boat going around. There'll be it'll be almost like a mobile guild hall. And there'll be a reason sitting at the tables, you know? I remember in the Gnome run afterwards, after we won, we all went to that tavern and sat down in the chairs. Something like that, you know? Just be nice, you know? It'd be cute. So, I don't know. It's just... It's a nice bit of flavor. I would love to be able to embrace it more, you know? Alright. 44 minutes left. It's me. Yeah, I'm fucking counting down the minutes. Because this is the worst bit of editing where I have to actually do post commentary. Frost Tiger Blade. I was hoping that would serve well in AQ 40, you know, with this slime boss, but apparently, it has low proc chance and a slower weapon speed than other examples of that type of weapon, so it's apparently not a good option. Sadly, the option for me as a paladin is a expensive world drop. I looked at it and it was like 600, 800 gold. Yeah. As of time of recording, I've made a fair chunk of cash, but buying that would not bankrupt me, but it would cripple me for a while. Maybe if I could start selling flasks, I'll be doing better, but... yeah, I've picked up alchemy. I replaced mining with it. Because alchemy does make a fair chunk of cash. But that's not for ages. It's basically a spoiler. I also do get an add-on at some point that tells me how long it takes to get from point A to point B on these fight paths. Like it's like 14 minutes to get down to Southis,
Goddess
and that's
watches.
with the shorter path by going by the way of flowers. This longer path, Jesus, the non-flowers path. Oof. The neighbors are banging away again next door. They're terrible about that. They're constantly like assaulting the house like it owes them money. They're very annoying. You don't know how many times I've contemplated like the feasibility of getting like stereos, well, speakers, putting them up against the wall and blaring like some undead corporation. They have a few songs where the guy does, you know, the death metal pig squealing. At least one song of that. Have that on repeat feels a nice riposte, you know. Also, it feels wrong of me not being too cheery and being like literally counting down the moments. There's just under 50 minutes left, 40 minutes left, counting down the moments. But here's the thing: when I'm doing this re-record, I could be doing more editing. I could be recording. I could be writing. I was hoping to do some writing today. It's already 4:30. I've spent a fair chunk of my waking hours here trying to edit and also getting distracted from editing. So, having to sit here for an hour 13, I'm a little sour about it. I suppose I didn't have to do so, but it felt, you know, I should, you know? I should. You know, I don't think Anne ever came of this troll hut down here. Like, there's the trolls in Northern Darkshore, where they do become related to a cataquest, but I don't think Anne ever does get related to down there. There's also a character in Outland that was interesting, and none never came of her. She was a troll woman. She was someone in the mountains of Nagrand. Nagrand? Nagrand? I don't remember. She's in the mountains there of it, and she had babies of multiple different races. A Tauren baby, a troll baby. Character models not seen anywhere else. And there's nothing about her. Nothing. Actually, they may have done something with her in WoW, had her as an enemy. Or maybe that was just wishful thinking. I'm just looking it up here. There's a website called WoW Secrets Review. WoW Hidden Places, the Nagrand Orphanage. Not loading. Not loading either. She's a troll. There's also skeletons there. from what I remember. There's a dog house, and with either food or remains of the dog inside, the meat is swarmed by flies and no dog to be found. I end up looking at Wowpedia. Before patch 2.1, before 2.1.0, the place was deserted, save for the cute baby Torin in the merry-go-round and the infants in cradles in the hut. It was believed that Chell's home may be used for Outland Question Children's Week, but it didn't happen. Currently, they have no plans to do anything here, so it's only an Easter egg. Patch 2.1 also added babies to the orphanage in Stratholme, including gnome, dwarf, and humans, which cannot be seen at Chell's. It was once speculated and later confirmed through Wars of Draenor that Chell is in fact devouring the children that end up here. Cages filled with little tyke-sized bones can be found near her hut. My god. The amount of stomping and banging out of them. You'd swear it was, there's a mosh pit happening next door. But yeah, she is in WoD. Same name, but she's down as an orc there. Jesus Christ. Honestly, I think there's been mob executions that sound less noisy. And like them kicking someone to death. Honestly. The mob, like, with all the stomping and banging they're doing next door, I'm sure the mob has, any mob, has kicked someone to death quieter. Like, Jesus. Guys of the Deceiver. It's a Nagrand quest. Garrock. Keeper of the Elements. So yeah. I wonder if that was their initial idea with the character. For her to be, you know, a monster like that. Or is that something they just went with because that was what the community was saying, theorizing? It certainly seems like it may have been their initial idea because she did have, you know, bones near her place, and in the dog's kennel there's just, you know, meat. The whole thing was very suspicious, so it would track that that was their idea from the get-go. But it's always a thing in the back of my head is how much is like the author's initial intent, and how much is it being affected by them witnessing fan theorizing and the like. Because it's very easy for them to say, "Oh, this was my idea." So it's just, you know. They actually remembered the human boy in BFA from her orphanage and gave him a model update. None of the rest seem to have. It seemed to have gotten one if the Wowpedias and to go by. Oh, there's even a night elf baby there. Makes me wonder how the hell she got these. Because, like... Okay, there's been human forces there for a fair length of time. Maybe they would have had some kids, basically. That fraternizing, you know, could have happened. Probably has. So, her being able to abscond with a human kid makes sense. An orc kid makes sense. Tauren, blood elf. Tauren, blood elf. Distinctly a blood elf, not a high elf. They do, despite it being at least initially a political difference, they do have a distinct looks. So, yeah, a blood elf child. Well, the blood elves have been there for a while, so that makes sense. So Tauren, a night elf. That doesn't make sense. I suppose a number of night elves have come to Outland, but the night elves that came to Outland would have been my Evan or Wardens. So, not exactly openings for fraternization. The Wardens are female only, at least till the Night Elf Heritage quest, where men are allowed into the non-magical part of the Night Elf armed forces. The men were the spiritual leaders. Well, men were druids or casters, you know. Women could also be that, but they took up the, you know, glaive in defense of home. They do have different gender roles, basically. Random tankard on the ground. Trying to see the sigil on the side, but at least as I am now, I'm having difficulty seeing it. Basically, yeah, like the Night Elf guards you would see are all women. Their standard force military is all women. The druids you will see can be male or female, but they're typically a male organization. So yeah, and like the wardens as well. And the wardens also had their own unique tattooing. So. Which was also gender exclusive. So. BFA. I think it was BFA? There's, you know, the heritage quest in. For the Night Elves. That changed it. Maiev opened it up. Though. The whole Maiev character, I'm not sure how to feel on it, because like they established her doing stuff in the novels, and I don't think there's any follow-up on it. Like, for example, she tried to assassinate Malfurion. She's also murdered numerous Highborn out of her sheer hatred for mages. During Kata, she went back to Darnassus, saw that the Highborn joined, and she tried to murder them. She also tried to murder the returned Malfurion, and then she absconded again. And it's never brought up again. It's never touched on. Tyrande, you know, the loving wife, how dare you lay your hands on my husband, never takes a swing at her. You know. It's... You know, maybe she couldn't do so for, you know, like, we need her right now. But, you know. there's no acknowledgement of it as far as I remember. There was nothing. They just decided to ignore that part of the book, and that's something that I find really annoying about WoW. I've been talking about this more in later stuff. Well, I've talked about it on and off throughout the series, but I've been talking about it a lot in my later recordings. I've done some for the 20th anniversary vanilla servers, and some recordings thereafter. How Blizzard doesn't really have a great quality control on its like novel, on its like lore works. Okay, some reading here. Maybe. It doesn't have good quality control in its lore works. People will put out a novel or a comic and they'll retcon random bits. We've got a position open for a temporary junior grade surveyor in the Gadgets and Water Company if you're interested. With nomads seizing all our wells, we need to exploit more free sources of water. There is water to be had in the desert, but only to those smart enough to survey them first. Take this dowsing widget and tap the sample water by the pool near the Sand Sorrel Watch. It's right inside the trolls there. Bring the tap widget back to me when you're done. Like they'll write this novel or this comic and they'll just retcon it out or say like, yeah, this happens but not this one bit, and it's really frustrating. Like Medivh, he seems to very much not be canon, but there's tons of stories centered on him, and some of that has even reached into WoW. Remember Cho'Gall, how he had eyes all over himself in Kata? That's tied in with a Medivh comic. Cho'Gall tried to res Khatun and was stopped by Medivh and friends, with Medivh taking up the mantle of the Guardian Terrorsville for a time to get that power to do so. Yes, what can I do for you, human? I'm awfully busy and have many patrons requesting my services. Perhaps you can speed things up. I don't mean to be rude, but I just don't have the time if I'm to catch up on all my work. So yeah, Medivh doesn't seem to be canon. Khadgar has the staff. He is the Guardian to Terrorsville, and Medivh canonically never. Sergeant Bly stole him, and like they say he is canon, but they don't seem to want to use him. His position in the story seems to be taken by Khadgar, though I don't know what they're doing with Khadgar in the War Within. They seem to want to move away from him being a grand part of the story. It's just him getting dragged off by the other one, and he seems to be taking it, and while he does get returned, it seems suspicious. It seems like they may be working up to getting rid of him. But that could be just being cynical. Hi there, I have a proposition for an adventurous seeker such as you. If you're up to challenge, along with my invention is super egomatic. I'm hard at work aiding the druids with their campaign Save the Hippogriffs. The birds are being affected by the evil. Alright. You're the app Forge. Okay, I'm going to give up on reading those. Read it yourself if you want. I want to make the point. Khadgar's taken Medivh's role in the story as successor of Medivh. Medivh saying that, you know, you're a perfect guardian because you don't want to be him. And, you know, he's getting the thumbs up from Medivh in Legion. Have you ever seen Thistle Shrub Valley? It's a mighty dangerous place, Gorik. The strange beast there, I don't trust them for a minute. Gnarled thistle shrubs and thistle shrub root shapers. That's what I think they're called. Anyhow, I want to get into the valley, but with so many of those thistle shrubs around, there's no way I'm going back there. But here's where you come in. If you clear some of them out, I might just think about going back. What do you think, Gorik? Help me out? So yeah, like canonically he never gets the power of the Terrorsville Guardian, but that's what the story hinges on. I'm always looking for a quick way to earn gold, Gorik. If you help me with my newest idea, I'll let you in on a little profit. How does that sound to you? I thought so. Head to the tar pits in northern Ungoro crater and collect me some tar. Not just any tar now, you have to get it from the beasts that live around the tar pits. Regular tar just isn't sticky enough. The plant-like creatures contain chlorophyll in their skin and mixed with the tar, it's super sticky. But, yeah, like they want to do something with the character. He is canon, but like him achieving the Guardian Terrorsville status, even temporarily, isn't. So but honestly, just looking at the story, there doesn't seem to be a place for him. They don't, you know, they've. You know, there just doesn't seem to be a place for him. Khadgar is taking the the position he would have. So, as successor Medivh. So, yeah. So yeah, they'll make characters up in expanded material. They'll have events happen, and they'll just retcon them out. Or events in game will happen, and they'll retcon them out in the expanded material. Like the Horde killed Blackhand in Classic. The Horde killed him in Classic, but there's a quest to kill him in Kata. That quest is completely non-canon. He's already dead by the time Kata rolls around. Completely non-canon. In Onyxia, you have a quest as a Alliance person and a quest chain to go kill Onyxia, and there's a huge thing of you putting her head up. That's non-canon. She died to Varian Rin. But I'm not sure if him being split into two people is canon, when I think the canon could be, I'm not sure, him having amnesia while still being just one person, and the other him being a evil doppelganger created by Onyxia. In the comics, he was split in two, his soul sundered, but I think in WoW, it was an evil doppelganger and the actual king, just with amnesia. So, they don't have a good quality control, they don't have good consistency, and like when you're doing quests, you want to know, is this what my character's doing? Is this the story that's going on? Is this who my character is? Is this what they're achieving? Only to find out later that didn't happen. Someone else did it. It's really frustrating. And often the people writing the lore Bibles don't know what they're doing. Something that will happen months after this was recorded. I'll talk about it when I see it. I found out a bit about it thanks to a Bellular video, Bellular News, Bellular Gaming. That guy, he did a video talking about a lore issue. The Chronicles. One of them came out and was riddled with lore issues. BFA. The war campaign and that, how the Horde invade Tanaris, and there's the interactions between the Horde and the Alliance. According to the WoW Chronicles, the whole Alliance campaign, including its reactions to the Horde's invasions and different things, takes place before the Horde even land in Tanaris. Even though the Horde's war campaign and their invasions come from... Sorry, let me start that again. The whole Alliance campaign happens before the Horde lands in Zuldazar. Even though they invade Tanaris from Zuldazar, the whole war campaign, Alliance's whole war campaign, even dealing with the Horde's invasions, takes place before the Horde land in Zuldazar and move to invade Tanaris. Apparently, WoW fired a ton of Blizzard fired a ton of staff way back when, including a ton of lore people. So when they did hire a few more in, they weren't getting the training they needed to do their job right. They were maybe they got a new job at a company. They may not have been the most informed on the lore of the setting. And they were probably hoping for on-the-job training on it, and so they didn't get the lore dossier they should have gotten. That was Bellular's reasoning on it. So they just ended up writing the wrong thing in the supposed lore Bible. The thing is, the Chronicles have been retconned as not lore Bibles anymore. They are books that wrote to a best of a scribe's knowledge of events. It's so they have a window to retcon things out if they need to. But rather than broadening, giving themselves a broad set of rules to work with, and then trying to work inside those rules and introduce new things as they need to, okay, here's the walls here, but I can introduce this new thing that goes along with the walls that's flush with them, but still expands what I can work with. Rather than do that, they'll just knock the walls down and build a new section and expect you to get over it. They don't really treat the property with care, and it's quite frustrating, honestly. Thinking about how careless and belligerent they are with it really hurts my ability to enjoy the setting, because I'm a very much story-focused person. I know a lot of people hate the idea of having stories in video games at all, but the amount of times I've seen people bragging about that developer of Doom annoys me. Apparently, one of the people that worked on the original Doom was saying that, you expect story in a game like you expect story in porn. It's nice, but it's not needed. To the writer of Doom. Yeah. I'm sorry, I can't see that person as anything but a prick. But okay, folks, I have no idea why I'm standing here so long. I have no idea. Not sure if I forgot to pause it or something. But yeah, a lot of people don't care about stories at all in the game. Like, gameplay is extremely important, but story is too. It doesn't need to be award-winning story, certainly, but it depends on what the kind of game you're writing. But when you start contradicting yourself, when you start retconning things out, like, oh, you remember this thing you did? Yeah, it never happened. It's kind of annoying. Because like I build up a story for my character, and then when I'm told like, yeah, your character didn't do this, didn't do that, didn't do this, didn't do the other thing, what do I even have left? It's kind of frustrating, basically. So like, even if they had those teams and people working on the game previously, to be honest, I question how good a job they even did back then. Another example of it is in War Within, they forgot about one of the Windrunner sisters, the Dalaran one, the Kirin Tor one, and gave her role to the Army of Light sister, rather than the rather than the one that would have cared about Dalaran. She felt she failed to protect the place when that doesn't make sense for her. Well, it could make sense for her, but it was her sister was the one that cared about Dalaran. She was married to the former leader of the place. She was the leader of the Silver Covenant. So, yeah, it's a bit frustrating. I'm not sure why I was looking around here. I think I felt I was missing something, but I'm guessing. At least I'm finally pissing off now. But yeah, they forgot about that, but that may have taken place post-firing the war people, so maybe that's why it happened. But even when they pointed out that it, they mixed up the characters, they didn't fix it. They just said, oh yeah, she moved away years ago, she's fine, she's not related anymore. It's like, I don't know why I did that. It's really obnoxious. It's really annoying. I don't know why they're doing that. They just don't seem to have much care for the story, and it makes it hard to care about it myself when that's the case. Honestly, talking about this always kills my interest in playing the game. Because why should I care if they don't? They don't even care in it. A professional way. Like, they may not care for the property itself, but if they're doing a job, they'll do it right. They don't even care in that sense. They just don't care. It's frustrating. I actually came up with an idea in one of my later sets for what in my mind would have fixed Shadowlands. And I got really excited about it and realized, shit, this is just something you spitballed here now. It's not something that will ever be made. And I got very disappointed and very sad. Basically, the idea was that Shadowlands would have been a afterlife for somewhere else. Much like there's elementals for each different world, there's different elemental leaders. There's elements elsewhere. Like there's an afterlives for different places. So a new portal opens up to a new world, drawn by maybe the echoes of the Well of Eternity. It's so far away that they've only found Azeroth now, and they're like forcing a portal open to the place, and the people invade. Cue next expansion dealing with this place. You don't go back to that world. Well, you do go back to the world, but you're sent to their afterlife. Through ritual, you go to the afterlife, and you deal with the jailer there. Rather than being originally, being behind the Lich King or tied in with him at all, he is some like death god or tied in with the afterlife, but the afterlife of this place. And he's reaching through to Azeroth, bleeding through the still open portal, pulling in the souls of the dead, good heroes and villains. So you can still have the Scourge resurrecting. You can have different villains coming back. You can still have the Lich King being affected by him. This is a new edition. I'm just spitballing off the cuff. You can have the Lich King still affected by him by having. Sorry, the Pip is giving guff. Think Mum's putting down her dinner. We do cooked dinners for them. They're very spoiled. But the Lich King's still the Lich King's controlling a lot of dead. So maybe the God of Death takes offense to it. Sculpting the jailer in that sense. You can still tie Bolvar in with the story. You can do something there. But if you want Uther, if you want Arthas, if you want Karn, there, that's easy. That's simple. When the jailer is siphoning souls off, dragging them to the afterlife, from their righteous death to to his realm. He's not just grabbing villains' souls, he's grabbing everything and anything he can grab. If there's some random, you could find Mankrik's wife there, He's just, stealing people from their righteous, deserved end, basically. Be it, this is where you should go for punishment, or this is where you go for reward. He's stealing them and dragging them to his place, his realm. And you can have even the same realms that are in Shadowlands. Maybe he doesn't get. Maybe some of them slip out of his spiritual tractor beam and end up on the other planes. You can easily work it. This way, you don't decanonize all the lore and beliefs of characters. Karn's whole religion is disproved in Shadowlands, and the character apparently never acknowledges it. He's just for the Shadowlands, and that's it. He never acknowledges the fact that he's a religious guy, and his whole religion's been proved false. No one acknowledges this. The characters, as far as I know, no one acknowledges it. I never got to finish Shadowlands, so I can't really comment, I suppose. Let me just type something. Okay. I lost my train of thought there. But yeah, so rather than decanonizing where the characters should have gone in their afterlife, inventing these new afterlives that have never been hinted at before, and and establishing this, easily do it as this is the afterlife of a new world, of a new plane of existence, of somewhere else. And the characters we know and you want to do callbacks to are being dragged there against their will from their deserved end. So Karen goes where he believes he should have gone. Uther went where he should have gone. You know, maybe they can talk a bit about what they may or may not remember of the place. It could just be feelings, or they just don't remember anything. It could vary depending on the character. You know, they can play with it a bit. There's room there. So they aren't decanonizing what we believe was true from, you know, the get-go. And they're still introducing something new. The realms of the dead. Just the realms of the dead for this other place. If it feels a bit much to have the afterlife for a particular, like each world to have their own particular afterlife, then you could do it as, fuck. Tie it in with WoD. Here's the afterlife for alternate timeline Draenor. But I suppose with what they're doing with WoD now and Euro and the Lightbound, when we have an opening for it, would you? Also, is the Dark Portal still tied in with WoD? Because that's how the Iron Horde were getting in the first place. Actually, no, I think they shut it behind themselves and then just opened their own portals back to Azeroth. Which does kind of take away from the whole Dark Portal, doesn't it? It's just a great way of getting an army through rather than the only way to get to the place. Like, the advantage of Dark Portal is huge, solid portal, that's seemingly sustains itself, pretty much. Well, then again, they had ritualists on one side. But there's no ritualists on the other side. Whatever. Basically, there's ritualists on the WoD side sustaining the portal. But the Burning Crusade has no ritualists sustaining it. So, that's its advantage. It needs no mage to sustain it once it got set up. Maybe because Medivh was doing it, powered by Sigeris. So that's the advantage of the Dark Portal. It's a huge structure to get troops through, and it's a sustained portal. But you can also just open up smaller portals to places. It's no issue. So, we're approaching the end now at long last. Thank God. I could do with another drink. I've only had 2 today, and it's gone 5. It's kind of standard for me. I keep thinking, I should get a drink. Hours later. Excuse me. But, basically, I do love WoW. I do like WoW. I do like Warcraft. But the devs just don't seem to show the same care and love for it that I would hope they would. I'm not sure why it's the case, but they just don't. They're too eager to retcon things. It's just like, this doesn't go go this way. That's fine. I'll just retcon it in. They don't respect the material, and this is something I keep seeing people nowadays pushing. Like, lore doesn't matter. Lore is stupid. You just retcon it. Who cares? So how can you tell a cohesive story if you don't focus on the lore? If you don't care about the lore? If you are retconning things left, right, and center, how can you care? It's obnoxious. And honestly, I think people pushing that have some sort of mental defect. So, remember there being a quest here, but maybe maybe that was a friggin' kata thing. Or maybe that was a rat thing, because there is some quests that have been introduced to Classic in rat, such as stealing the pills of the Dark Irons in Searing Gorge. So maybe that's that. Basically, you go from that guy into Oldawar over there, and then back. You investigated the place a bit, and then leave. But he doesn't seem to have any quests. Maybe I just wasn't high enough level for it. I mean, it was the enemies outside were level 49 elites. I just thought I would see some trace of it. Either get the quest and it's a red, or CD grayed out exclamation mark above his head. No idea. Sorry, I just need to write another bit. So, I'm just done now. What's going to happen now is I'm going to fight these enemies a little, then I'm going to stop to try and wake up a bit, I do believe, and I'll fall asleep. Oh no, wait, it's only 4:12. No, I think I stopped for dinner. And in the middle of next set, I fall asleep. I swear there was falling asleep in the middle of this. I have no idea anymore. No, I was falling asleep a lot during my recordings around this time. Finally, less than a minute left. 40 seconds. So, I hope you've enjoyed this set. I hope you have minded my post-commentary. God, that takes ages to cast. And I hope you join me again soon. If there's anything at all you'd like to tell me, please let me know in the comment section below. That is what it's there for. Oh, I need to go delete that guild bit, don't I? I forgot it. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you join me again soon. If there's anything at all you'd like to tell me, please let me know in the comment section below. But until next time, love and peace, baby.